Good morning. I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Monday. Yay. How was everyone's weekend? Did you have a good one? I did. I had another good one. Weekends are good these days. So I'm going to be doing some general channeling for the collective, picking out cards, seeing what the guys want to teach us about or tell us about at the moment. And I'm also giving mini reads as well. So if you're interested in a mini read and you're on here live with me, then check out the pinned comment, the comment that's pinned up top of the live chat that tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there for donations, and you can use that. It's my preferred method, but you can also use Super Chat or Super Sticker if you'd like to within YouTube here, if that's easier for you. If you've got a question for your higher self, put a capital Q at the start of your comment so I can find it easily. And you don't have to have a particular question. You can just leave it up to your higher self and just ask for guidance from your higher self if you want. Hey, Jessica. Hi, Kate. How was everyone? Did you have a good weekend? So let's start picking some cards out for the collective while people are getting in. Hey, Maria. My pool game was very good this weekend. I'm a winner. In fact, Supreme Champion, because when the bar shut, I was winning. Still. Willing entanglement. We're getting caught up in something, or being willing to get caught up in something. I feel like this might be about lessons, you know? Quiet weekend for you, Kate? I think this might be about lessons. You know, sometimes we don't want them, do we? If our higher selves tell us, right, okay, get into this relationship or this job or whatever, do this thing, you're going to get a lesson from it. We wouldn't want to. We wouldn't want to. But, I mean, that's the reality of it, isn't it? Get willingly entangled in something. And night magic. Meet Vespertine, no sleep for the wild. She's a swirl of creativity and nighttime escapades. It's like me on Saturday nights now. She's pure nocturnal playfulness and mystery. Going out at night is not only for the young. Yeah, right. 50-year-olds can do it too. Night magic's for everyone. Explore the night. Go out dancing or walk under the stars. Gather with your friends and talk into the wee hours. Sing and play music under the moonlight. Stay up to watch a meteor shower or a lunar eclipse. See the sun rise while the world sleeps. Watch your perspective expand and shift. You have more energy than you believe. I have more energy than I believe. And I didn't even sleep all day yesterday. I got up pretty early. I relaxed. I made this chest of drawers here. My desk hasn't arrived yet, but the drawers to go under it have. Can't see it, but it's right there. Oh no, Christine. Hello. But oh no, you're a mess today. I can't stop crying. It's not good. So yeah, hopefully my desk will arrive maybe today. Or tomorrow. I can put it together tomorrow. That'll be good. So let's get some tarot out. Yeah, less than a year to live. Whoa, that's heavy. I can't begin to imagine what you're going through there, Christine. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot to take in and deal with. Get your head around. Whoa. So sorry, Christine. Yikes. Well, let's get some tarot out. Into the tarot already. So, if anyone wants a mini read, check out that pinned comment up top. Let's get going on those. I've still got some full moon readings left, reduced price as well, if anyone wants one of those on BeHealing.com. Now, we're starting out with the Mother of Air. She's new. I don't think we've had her before out in here. She's got books around her. She's walking in the clouds. The Mother of Air. She writes books and creates language. She builds bridges with words and ideas, helping you communicate more effectively. Okay, it's about communication. Willingly entanglement. Willingly entangled, maybe night communication. Something for us to communicate. Probably. It's a little bit warm in here, which is weird because it's not warm outside. But I can't open the windows. I had them open yesterday. I had the whole place open. It was great. But too many mosquitoes this time of day. And then we've got the Two of Fire. Whoa. Chicken's in. See her legs there. The Two of Fire. Chicken's happy because I got new chicken food and she really likes it. It's the one that I used to give her when she was much younger. Meow. Tuna flavour. She really likes it. I let her out. And so she's eaten a lot more lately. The last couple of days since I got that. She doesn't like the old stuff. Whiskers. She doesn't like it. So yeah. Oh, it's so cool out there. Like the aircon. Why can't the aircon cool it down cooler than it is outside? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm going to have to change the setting. It's probably about humidity. Stick it on that setting and see how it goes there. Oh. Okay, two of fire. Back to that. I will open the windows later. I'll give it a little while though, because well, I could do it now. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to open everything up. Hang on. And if the mosquitoes get too much, I will do something about it. Oh, that's noisy. Hi, chicken. Okay, all good. Oh, just tie these curtains back, otherwise they'll be blowing everywhere. Oh, that's better. Yes. That's much cooler. Oh. Turn that off. Okay, I'm good now. Isn't that weird? The aircon in these rooms is not big enough. We've got small units in here and it's a big room. It's nice to have fresh air. Okay, back to the Two of Fire. Thank you, Jessica. Two of Fire, Mercury. The Roman god called Mercury, Mercury is about thinking and communication as well, right? Was known for, among other things, delivering messages between gods and goddesses and mortals. Astrologically, this Mercury deals with how we think and reason as well as how we communicate, including writing, speaking, and listening. By extension, it also governs how we gather and process data. The excuse, Mercury's in retrograde, is common. Yes. We know about that. Two of Fire represents the importance of communication. Either there's something that must be said or something that must be heard. The surrounding cards will help identify which way the communication needs to be flowing and with whom. Well, we've got communication right next to it there with the Mother of Air. She needs to communicate. Oh. Crown of Fire. And then the Crown of Fire. This is, so that card just said it's about communication, and the cards around it say what the communication is about. And we've got the Mother of Air and the Crown of Fire. Around it. The Crown of Fire blows out the flame. You see, the Mother of Air is the Queen of Swords, so she could be about communicating boundaries. She blows out the flame. There's time and a season for everything. She's here to usher in the ending, the dying of fire. It's boundaries. It's communicating boundaries and communicating endings. This is where it ends. Yikes. So the willing entanglement. Getting into something. Or getting involved in something. Communicating boundaries. Something like that. Okay, the wind's not going to blow through all the time, so I need to put the fan on. No, the fan's not working because it's going against the breeze. Jessica. Oops. Jessica, high self-guidance for you. Thanks for your donation, Jessica. Jessica. Where's my cards? Okay, high self-guidance for you. And the breeze came through. Encouragement and be firmer. So it's kind of about communication for you. You're being encouraged to be firm with people, clear with people, straight with people. Tell them how you're feeling. Tell them as it is. Don't hold back to be nice. It's not actually nice when we do that, apparently, according to the guides. When we hold back and don't say what we mean. Or we don't communicate how we really feel because we don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. So we hurt our feelings instead by not expressing it. You're being encouraged to be firmer, be stronger, be more outspoken. We don't need to people please. Interesting. So this could be about respect for you. This might be about having been taught about respect in the past. And yeah, you might be conflating. I don't use that word. You might be putting the two together. Respecting others and being nice to them is not the same thing. People pleasing and respect, it's not the same thing. Although angry people could throw that at you, you know. Don't disrespect me just because you're talking back to them, just because you're saying, just because you're expressing yourself, you know. Something to face here anyway. I feel like it's a belief that respect is about being nice to people. Yeah, I'm getting that nice thing. So you're being encouraged to speak up more because it's not nice to yourself if you don't, you know. If we've got to respect others and respect ourselves at the same time. So respecting your feelings, respecting. And it's not true that things shouldn't be said because if we don't express things, then they sit inside of us and it eats away at us. I think I've told you the story of when I was doing neurotherapy in Byron Bay. So I had a client on the computer. She was wired up to electrodes on her head. And I was watching her EEG on my therapist screen. And she's playing along to a game. And it was weird. I thought something had gone wrong with the equipment because I'm looking at the screen and she's in this state, this brainwave state that is high beta and it's like stressed, almost panic state. And I look at her and she's sat there calm as can be next to me. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. This is not making any sense. She should be like running around with her head on fire to have brainwave patterns like this. I look back at the screen and I'm like, there's got to be something wrong here. There's got to be something wrong. But the trends were happening. So as she was playing the game, it was teaching her brain how to produce like less of that and more of the lower beta brainwaves and stuff. So it was working. It's like, well, it's working in some way. And so even if the readings are off, because it's a training method, because it's a way of training your brain. Where is that hair? Because it's a way of training the brain. It doesn't really matter if it's like up there, as long as it's moving around. If it was down there and moving around, it's still got the same training method. Anyway, suddenly she said to me, can you put something at the window? The sun's glaring. And as soon as she said it, her brainwaves went back down to normal. So she went from this highly anxious, very, very stressed, panic state of mind, stressed, to, and she wasn't showing it on the outside, to this calm, relaxed, external focused state of mind. You know what? A mosquito. And it wasn't when I put something at the window. It wasn't about the pain she was going through of the glare of the sun. I hadn't put anything at the window. It was the moment that she spoke out about it. And so don't underestimate the harm that we do ourselves by being nice and not speaking out. Oh man, you see, mosquitoes, they're big too. So speak out, because it's damaging you. You know, we wouldn't do it in any other way, but somehow we think it's okay emotionally, and speaking about our feelings, we think, oh, we don't need to do that. Like there's nothing tangible that shows. Well, I'll put you on an EEG machine and show you the tangible effects that you're having on yourself. Very important to speak out about things. So you've been encouraged to do that, Jessica. Okay, back to the tarot. What have we got to speak about in the tarot? Endings, boundaries. Two of Fire, it can be about a choice of what we're going to do. What we're going to do, what we're not going to do. Maybe. Thanks, Kate. And then we've got the God. The Emperor. It's the women that are around the communication card, though. So I guess we're telling the Emperor something. Bugging the Emperor. And the Emperor can be, the dark side of the Emperor is controlling. It is that, it can be the narcissistic kind of person. And so not necessarily the best person to confront or draw up boundaries to. So there's something about communication here. What about the God? What about this Emperor? Earth. The Ace of Earth and Offer. Oh. Ace of Pentacles. I wonder if there's going to be communication from the Emperor then. Now, I know some of you, in the dailies, there has been a coming together of the Empress and Emperor, and I know some of you have. Maybe, I don't know if you're in here, the people that have, but I know some of my customers have, that has been right for them, what the energy updates have been saying. And so it could be an offer that comes from the Emperor, the Divine Masculine, that we have to be strong about. Now, this doesn't mean it's something that you don't want. It's a big offer. It might not just be exactly how you want it. It can be good, and you can still draw up boundaries and say yes to this and no to that kind of thing, expressing ourselves. I want to get one more card out and then I'll be right with you, Kate. Good morning, Arabella. 9 of Fire. Ooh, he's hunky. The 9 of Fire. Oh, mosquitoes. Most dangerous animal in the world. Now they're in my room. 9 of fire is Pluto. Some say that the only absolutes in life are death and taxes. Pluto reigns over these infamous aspects of the human experience. He does so with cool composure and promises. Astrologically, whether given status as a planet or not, Pluto governs those things in life that absolutely have to happen. As god of the underworld, it's fitting that Pluto is associated with death, which leads to transformation and renewal. Really, Pluto is not so much of a dispenser of death as he is a surgeon, helping us dispose of situations that are completely played out and shedding anything that no longer serves us. Pluto also deals with the issue of sex, power, and control, making sure we know when these are appropriate and necessary to pursue and when it's time to let go. Although the experiences of Pluto are often hard, painful, and even terrifying, the rewards are vast. A renewal of life and spirit, psychological and personal growth, wisdom, the ability to transcend adversity. The 9 of fire heralds the inevitable. Unlike the 7 of fire, the events of the 9 are often not a surprise. More often we see them coming. Yeah, we know we should prepare, but we resist. The changes Pluto promises are usually difficult, and the ones we'd rather forgo. Well, that's not possible. There is at least the promise of riches at the end of the journey. The shadow side of this card shows a strong and dangerous denial of Pluto's events, like repressed shadow self. These repressed feelings can lead to explosive and unstable actions, which will not only delay the inevitable, but make it more difficult. Yeah, so there's a acceptance that needs to be had here. This feels to me like it's going to be a bit of a tower moment, like it's going to be a bit of a blow up. Like something needs to come to a head, and there's no with the Emperor here, and there's no nice way to go about it. It needs to happen. This came out in the energies, in the energy update. I think it was the full moons, wasn't it? That something needs to happen, and the universe is kind of going to force our hand because it needs to happen. And no matter how much we're trying to not cause chaos or not have, go about it the right way and try and circumvent any bad things or any negative things happening from it. We can't. Sometimes we can't, because sometimes there's karma involved with other people too. And we can't shield people. We want to, right? Because we've all hurt and we want to shield people from the lessons, but we can't. So there's something that needs to happen here. An offer is going to be part of it from the Emperor. And the feminine is going to have to communicate boundaries or endings or how it's going to be. She's going to have to be really strong in it. Willing entanglement. Got yourself into this. Kate. Thanks, Arabella. Kate. Herself. So I was watching a video on mosquitoes this weekend, and there's certain genes, there's certain SNPs that you can have in your genes that make you more attractive to mosquitoes. And you can actually test for it whether you're more susceptible, more attractive to mosquitoes. And in this video, they were showing this test. There was some mosquitoes in a tube, and the tube had 2 tubes going off it, like a left and a right turn. And they could put like the hand in one of the tubes, someone else's hand in one of the other tubes, and see which the mosquitoes go to after doing the DNA testing to see if it's true. And it is true. I'm pretty good. Obviously, when I'm exercising, they really like exercises. They like it when you're sweating, producing more carbon dioxide, don't you, you little... Yeah. And yeah, so they get me then. But generally, like my friends will get a bit more than me. Certain people, it's better to be around because they will always go bite them instead of me, which is a good thing. Well, good for me. Anyway, something about mosquitoes. Kate, oh, going well in completion. So you're doing some endings and it's going well. It feels like a lesson or an issue that's ending for you. And your higher self says that it's going well. You're almost there. So you know how when we're healing something or we're dealing with an issue, it seems to come around over and over again, just as we think that we've released it. Then it shows up in another aspect of our life. And it does kind of come back around again, but it's more like a spiral. It gets smaller and smaller each time. Anyway, you're getting there. And I think a lot of us have got this kind of stuff going on at the moment in that we, with what the guides have been saying about us completing chapters, starting a new chapter. It's that. And you've got communication coming, romance. So an old chapter in romance, an issue that you've had or repeating lesson is coming to a close now. You've done well with it. It might seem like it was an endless loop, like it just keeps on coming around again. How come I'm still going through this and this again, and it keeps on coming up again? But your higher self is saying that, yeah, you're coming out of it now. It's going well. I think sometimes we have these issues or these repeat patterns in our lives, not to get out of them, because like what kind of a spirit would do that? Well, I'll just set myself up with this horrible thing just to see if I can get out of it. It's not that. It's that we grow from it. So the end result isn't to get rid of the bad thing or the issue that we're facing. It's to grow from it. And so when you look at it from that perspective, it makes more sense that it would come around over and over again, because the point isn't to get out of it. It's to learn greatly from it. Anyway, it's within your romantic life, so yeah, expect things to change. Expect a different experience. So be more open to, well, what if this issue is completed now? What if I'm open to something new? What if I can have a completely different experience now? That. Arabella, high self-guidance. There's so many mosquitoes in here. I thought it was windy enough, but you see the wind's dropped now and it's not blowing through, and the mosquitoes are just... Now the breeze again. If the breeze could just be consistent, that would be really nice, because I'm kind of hot. Arabella, my self-guidance. What you resist, persist, and write. Writing, huh? You're resisting it. Oh, hi, Bunny. Thanks for your donation. Um, Arabella, this is either you need to journal about your resistance, or so in other words, writing down your thoughts and feelings around a certain subject that you feel you're stuck on, or yeah, that you're stuck on, doesn't seem to be moving forward. That shows that you've got a resistance to it. Journaling about it or around that subject might bring things to light for you. I don't think it's resistance to writing. I think it's writing about your resistance. How you're stuck. You meant to put a question after your cue, Bunny. Not just a cue. Trust myself and respect. Okay. is really similar to someone else's message before about the respect, the can I do this and be respecting people or be nice to people at the same time? Can you? I don't think, no, I don't think so. I think if we're doing something, say if we've got some kind of work to do, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it well if you're bothered about how other people feel. Like imagine what my videos would be like if I was just so concerned about if people get offended or if people take it the wrong way. My readings would just be terrible because I wouldn't hardly say any of it. I've not got to care so much about how people take it, just knowing that the stuff that needs to come out comes out. Same with anything. If you're running a business, you've not got to care because people like get upset about all kinds of things that you're doing, even just the fact that you're making money. Like you can't win at all. People will get upset about all kinds of things, and it's because of their triggers. So a resistance to that, it's not about disrespecting them. My readings aren't disrespecting anybody, right? My readings aren't disrespecting anybody. They're out there and people can use them if they want and get the guidance from them. Not a problem. If it's not somebody's, then they can just go away. Like it's not disrespecting anyone. And in the same way, anything that you do is the same. You just have to be like almost stubborn about it. You have to be stubborn about it and do your thing. And trust yourself. So that could be the resistance. I feel like it's a work kind of thing or a being yourself kind of thing. And bothered about how other people are going to take it. But like you can't. Like I said, you can do anything and people get upset about it. And you can't let that stop you. People literally get upset that a reader asks for money. Like this work, we can get paid for it. I mean, that's fundamental, isn't it? That's you can't win. You can't win with that at all. If people say that to me, I tend to ignore them now. But what I used to say to people like that was, "You want me to be homeless and starve to death, and my children not to have any clothes on their back?" And really, really. So yeah, journal about it. Thoughts around that, and it might make more sense to you what your resistance is. Bernie, romance. Romance for January. Okay. Bernie, romance, January. Thanks for your donation. Okay, you got refocus and own my idea. So you need to get really clear on what it is that you want. So clear that when anything else shows up, you're going to say no to it. So clear that you'll definitely recognize it when it shows up. And you'll know when it's not that. Instead of, oh, this could be what I'm looking for, you'll know whether it is or not. It's about getting really clear on what it is that you want in romance. And it's also about this. It's about opening up. I've got a feeling like in January you might have a lot of suitors, but it's more of the universe saying, has she got it yet? Like, you know that you can choose. You know when, say if we've been in a repeating pattern, attracting the same kind of people over and over again, romantic relationships or just being attracted to us, and it's not what we want. When it first starts out, we still keep on saying yes to them anyway because we don't recognize it yet. And then eventually we get it and we're like, I'm not going to choose that again. I get what I'm doing. But then they still keep on showing up for us to say no to them. And then eventually, yeah, they still show up, but you hardly even notice them anymore. It's that kind of thing. And so this might be that you are getting attracted sexually to the types that you don't actually want. That could be what's on repeat, is there's an attraction there. And why does that happen? It happens generally because of early sexual experiences. So first boyfriend, first girlfriend kind of experiences can really set the stage. Oh, even movies. Top Gun for me. Even movies can. They can really set the stage of our sexuality and have us attracted to a certain thing. You might find that if you look into that. There's a particular movie that you're into in your teenage years around those hormonal times that have kind of set the stage for your sexuality. There's a link. There's a link to what you're attracted to and who you're attracting and what it is that you don't want. There's something to uncover there. Can we change our sexuality? Yeah, we kind of can. Not really, but we can. We can understand it more. Once we understand it, we can kind of see it for what it is. That's what I mean. So when sexuality and this attraction thing is just, a mystery. I'm just feeling this thing for this person. It's a connection. So I'm going to go with it because they must be my twin flame. That kind of thing. Well, it's not. It's not. It's a pattern. It's a neurological pattern because of experiences that you've had in the formative years when you were developing, when those hormones were about. And so once we see it like that, not to take away the magic, like there's still connection and stuff like that, but we've got to recognize when it's not that, when it is just habitual patterning that we've got. And that's going to free you. So January, I'd expect a lot of suitors showing up, and it's more of the same for you to get really clear. So yeah, you might want to look into that. It could be a movie or something. You worry about what people think, Arabella. Mm. 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 Hello, Subpa. Interesting. Well, let's get back to the tarot. What was the Nine of Fire? Oh, something that needs confronting. Yeah. I feel like something's got to blow up. I feel like something's going to blow up and there's no getting around it. It's like, how can I break up with this person without hurting them? You can't. And there comes to be a point where you've just got to do it. You've got to rip that band-aid off. You just got to do it. That's what this is. So I feel like here the Emperor, Taurus. The Emperor might be trying to circumnavigate things to give you an offer, to give the Empress an offer, to give the Divine Feminine an offer. I think the Divine Feminine has to stand forward saying, nah, you stop this first. It's a boundary, communicating that boundary. And almost saying, no, you've got to confront that first. I think that's what it is. So Emperor, you've got to confront that first, but it's the Divine Feminine that's got to tap into a Queen of Swords side, Crown of Fire, and things to cut it out. It's like straight shooting kind of thing. You will not. You will do it like this. That kind of thing. She wants to get involved, but there are certain conditions required. Emperor's got to sort something out. Cat has. Okay, let's get these out. What else? Tell us more about this. Someone came up to me on Saturday night and said, what did she say? You're the... Oh, I can't remember the word she used now. She says like something like, you're the queen of my time. or on this island, I think she said. I said, of the world. Ace of Pentacles, again, a big offer. I hope it's going to tell this story, but another way around. So, okay, big offer. The Emperor might be making a big offer before he's actually available or before he's sorted something out. He might be making a big offer that he wants to make, but he hasn't quite prepared for it yet. And I feel like the Divine Feminine needs to say, is this legit? Like, are you actually prepared to do that? Are you ready? Have you got what it takes? And yeah, it could be that. There might be a bit of wishful thinking going on here on both sides. A bit of, let's not face it. Let's not look at the elephant in the room. Let's not talk about it, but it needs to be talked about. So, Ace of Pentacles again. And the Three of Swords. Heartbreak. Okay. There's heartbreak involved. And that could be why the Emperor's trying not to. King of Pentacles, King of Chalices came out together. So I think the masculine and divine masculine is trying to find the stability here to give a love offer, this big offer. But there's heartbreak involved in it, so they're not actually ready. So the Emperor, the divine masculine, might be feeling rushed, might be feeling that they're missing out, might be feeling that time is running out. Approach the Empress, the divine feminine, with an offer, a big offer, but they're not actually ready yet. They're just preempting it. They're just stepping on in there because of a fear. Why aren't they ready yet? Because they're trying to people please, is what it is. Trying to people please, not wanting something to end or, to deal with it. So they either haven't had the stability yet or they're not emotionally available yet. It's one of the two. It's either about money or it's about an ex or something like that. Trying to avoid the heartbreak. They're trying to do the nice thing. Okay, tell us about the divine feminine then. Judgment. A judgment call to be made. I'm going to read this one out. What else? Judgment and... So the divine feminine has to use discernment on this one. Using her intuition. Is this the High Priestess? No, it's death. Again, an ending before a rebirth. Something has to end before of it. I feel like the divine feminine definitely needs to use her intuition, because I feel it's the intuition that's going to be saying there's something not legit about this. It's not that the heart's not in it. It's not that they don't want this big offer. The offer is legit. They're just not ready yet. Judgment. In this deck. This is new information. This hasn't been in the cards yet. This is like the guides telling us, be careful of this. This might happen now. Judgment. Where are you? Here. If we ask, the divine will answer. The key, though, is not only asking but listening. After posing the question, keep your spirit calm enough to hear the response. Actively seek it, look forward to its arrival, and by all means prepare to act on it, for it will undoubtedly change your life. No, I don't feel like it's that. I don't feel like it's asking the divine. We're going to have to use our intuition. This is more like it's up to the feminine to decide, to use her discernment and decide, definitely using her intuition, because there's something that's being held back here. And death. Something ends. When something ends, there's a time of mourning. The difficult emotions, anger, bitterness, sadness, despair, are never enjoyable. They must be experienced, though. I think the divine feminine is going to have to say, no, you need to end that first and then come to me. I don't want to be part of this process. You do that and then come with the offer. I think that's what it is. So the divine masculine is avoiding these difficult emotions, anger, bitterness, sadness, despair. But they've got to be experienced. Got to rip that band-aid off. There's something that they need to do that they're not doing. And within even these feelings are hidden gifts that deepen our character, enhance our compassion, and usher in new experiences. It's the ending of something important. So the divine feminine is going to have to stand up and say, hey, do that first. Because they're trying to avoid it. The divine feminine needs to be not in that wishful thinking, not in the ignoring the elephant in the room, because the masculine is going there, apparently. Or some of them are, so be careful of that. Some of them might think that they're about to miss out, and so they come rushing in with these big offers. 2 aces of pentacles here. This is someone offering something before they're ready to. Well, it's the other cards saying that it's before they're ready to, before they're actually available to. Before they've got the stability, or before they're actually emotionally available or ready for it. So yeah, beware. There's a danger here of being deluded, of being in fantasy land, and of not doing it right, of washing over it just to get, what's that? Teenage kicks. That's the song I heard, Teenage Kicks. But it's that kind of thing. It's just short term what you want, but it's not really what you want. Be careful. Hi, Penny. Whoa. And it's going to be tempting, isn't it? Look, there's the Ace of Crystals. How many Aces of Pentacles can we have? Well, that's not come out, but it's right there. Tell us more. I wonder why. Well, because they think they're going to miss out. Feeling the pull. Must be the full moon. Full moon saying like, shit, or get off the pot kind of thing. It's like, come on. Or instead of doing the preemptive work, they're trying to avoid it because it's like, it's painful. It's going, the wounded warrior. It's going to hurt somebody. I can't do that. I'm just going to pretend it's not there and try and move forward without sorting it out. Divine feminine needs just to communicate that and say, no, before I'm getting willingly entangled in this, you'll sort that out. The Empress. Now I've got the Empress. So, about the divine feminine. Oh, I need all of those. Okay. What about the Empress? The Four of Crystals, needing to hold her energy back. She's going to be feeling impatient too, right? Well, she needs to withdraw her energy in order to make the inner child happy. Okay, to make the inner child happy. So not the teenage kicks, not the instant rewards, instant gratification, appearing to get what you want on the surface, but the inner child to be truly happy. Akashic records, something to do with your life path, what you've experienced before. It's like you've been here before. You know not to rush in. You know not to accept these without asking the questions first. You know, you got the wisdom. You've been through this before. You know that they need to be fully ready, and you need to make sure that they are. So Divine Feminine needs to kind of police the Divine Masculine at the moment, just because they could trip over right now. It's not saying that you always need to be this. You always need to be the police of the Emperor. It's just saying right now they might trip up, so watch out, Empress. Six of Crystals. You want the reciprocity, right? You've got to make sure that the reciprocity comes in. I've got one more of those. So you've got to make sure that they can reciprocate. So that could be the Akashic Records thing, is like, hey, look, Divine Feminine, how many times have you been through this? Relationships that cannot be reciprocated, that they don't reciprocate, that they don't do anything, that you do way too much. You don't want that this time. You have to do it differently this time. Don't be fooled by this Emperor coming in before he's ready to reciprocate, before he can. Let's get one more of these out. Just because there's a space here. There's one more. The Three of Cups. The Three of Cups. The Three of Cups indicates a time of celebration, creative energy, and social gatherings. This highlights an emergence of spiritual and psychic growth as you learn to raise your vibration to entirely new levels. You surround yourself with the people you love, and together you create wonderful, blissful memories. If you've been overexerting yourself in some way, now would be an opportune time to relax and take a break. Give yourself permission to explore the interests which fulfill you, both spiritually and emotionally. What future adventures lie just beyond the horizon? So there's a forward-thinking kind of thing here. It might be a time to relax and take a break so that you have your celebration in the end. Exploring other interests, or just going, oh, we don't need to rush into it now, kind of thing. Future adventures lie just beyond the horizon. Especially, this is setbacks or delays, family quarrels or disputes. Might be talking about community problems here, if they don't sort themselves out first. A state of unhappiness or instability. It may be time to have some important conversations with loved ones. If there's any issues from the past that are now resurfacing, it's time to acknowledge them head on and decide if you're ready to let them go. This allows you to make room for fresh perspectives and to establish a sense of closure. Closure needs to happen first, right? Last thing we want to do is delay it even further by rushing into something now before people are ready. Got something frizzy going on with my hair. Tangly frizzy. Yeah, last thing you want to do is get into another unreciprocal relationship and set that. I did a private reading yesterday. No, I didn't. I did a private reading on Saturday. Or was it yesterday? No, it was yesterday. I worked a bit yesterday. I don't usually do that on Sundays, but yeah. The customer was asking, was a relationship going to turn around? Was it redeemable? Could this change? She was waiting for them to change. Could this change? I mean, sometimes they can, right? She was saying that there were some signs there that they were dealing with stuff from their past. Can it change? So that's what I went in the reading with, that question. And the answer was no. Not with that one, because there was already a pattern of what she would put up with that had been started. In other words, if you enter a relationship and you will put up with certain stuff, you can't then turn around and say, I'm not putting up with that stuff. Drawing up a boundary, very rare that relationship will ever change, because you've already set the goalpost kind of thing for that relationship. If you've done it once, you'll do it before. They'll keep on testing it. They'll keep on trying it out again. You know, it's like with your parents or something when you're a kid. You know, if you pester them enough, you will get the lollies in the end. You will always remember that. You will always remember that, and you'll keep on trying, you'll keep on trying. So no matter how strong they are in the future, you'll keep on trying, because you know that they caved once and that they'll do it again. It's always going to be annoying. The relationship is always going to be annoying. If we are too flexible, if we allow ourselves to be disrespected, but it doesn't have to be that bad, a disrespect, but it could be. If we allow ourselves to be disrespected, if we're too flexible, if we don't have these strong boundaries, these two are saying, we set the stage for that relationship and we can wreck it. We can wreck it by not being strong enough at the start, and they will always remember that. They will always remember it, and always, they're the parameters of the relationship kind of thing. You've got to be careful. You got to be careful. And so in that reading, it was saying, no, you've already let enough go down. They already know that you're a soft touch, that they can get away with this, that they can do that. They're not going to change it within this relationship. So be careful of that. You don't want to get into this relationship and not be strong. You don't want to let them get away with this. And they're not going to be coming at you saying, I'm not ready yet, but you want to do this. They're not going to be saying that. You're going to have to use your intuition. And your intuition, because there's stuff going on here. There is heartbreak, and there's a bit of a mess here. And they have to go through that. There's going to be a bit of fallout. There's going to be a bit of chaos. There's going to be jealousy and stuff that comes up. We've been told that over and over again. There's going to be criticism. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be heartbreak involved. There's other stuff going on when the divine masculine and the divine feminine come together. There is going to be a bit of fallout to it. Like I said, if you want to break up with someone, there's no way of doing it in a nice way. We can try as much as we want, but it's always going to be painful, and we can't get around that. And sometimes you just need to do it. And so the divine feminine, if there isn't that bit of chaos, then you know that they've not done it. That's what I'm saying. If they're not turning up a bit of a disheveled mess, then they've not done it yet, that they're not truly ready. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, if they're not a bit of a mess, then they've not done it. If they're not a bit of a mess and they're vulnerable, then they haven't done it. If they're coming forward like this, da 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 da, I'm strong, I'm the emperor here, I have this great big pentacle, let's do this. That's ego. And you're like, nah. Because if you were really ready, you'd be a bit of a mess right now. Yeah. That's why they wanted to say about the dark side of the god there, the dark side of the emperor, is that narcissistic kind of traits. Not personality disorder, but narcissistic kind of traits, which anyone can do. Anyone can have. So, word of warning from the guides. I want to use these. Oh, yeah, what was it? Yeah, these were my cards, you see. I asked about my current relationship circumstances and I got grace and trust. Very good, right? But then there's heartbreak, control, and villain. And it's like, so they're wanting to not be the villain in all of this and not break any hearts. They wanted to control the situation. These are the dark cards underneath it. Grace and trust on the surface and all this darkness underneath it. Trying to control the situations to make it nice. You know, I tried that. And I remember thinking I could do it when I broke up with Jared to have, we broke up together. I didn't really break up with him. But for it to be like a conscious, you know, an easy, a loving breakup kind of thing, we tried. But of course, there's no avoiding the pain. And I remember going through it because I wanted to be deliberate about it. I wanted to be conscious about it. And then shortly after that, Gwyneth Paltrow was going through and she called it conscious uncoupling. She wrote something about it. And I'm like, yes, but you won't be able to do it either. Right? We've got love out. Love. Nice. What else? Bad attitude. This card usually comes out for me. I got a bad attitude sometimes. Yep. Betrayal and holding on. Oh. Bad attitude, betrayal, and holding on. There's a Klingon. Without holding on, someone else is holding on. Not wanting to let go of something, they need to let go of it. That's why this stability isn't happening yet. Not sure what the bad attitude is. It's like they're wanting to do something without doing it. It's like, you know, trying to get another job without quitting your job, but slowly like walking out sideways of the door, telling them that you're going to be back. Some people do that, right? Some people say they're just going out for milk and then they never return. That's how they break up without facing it at all. I don't think we've got a situation like that, but it's kind of similar energy. Coming forward as an emperor, but they're not acting like an emperor of the past situation. Holding on to something, not wanting to betray. There's a bad attitude going on here. Did anyone get a bit crazy with the full moon this weekend? I was a little bit feisty. I was ready for a fight. Oh, on Saturday night, so many couples were arguing with each other. It was a bit kicky-offy. It's not particularly busy on the island. There are more people. There've been actually big speedboats arriving, and but on Saturday night there wasn't that many people out. More places are open now. More bars and clubs are open, so people are kind of spread out between them. But yeah, there was a lot of, I'm not talking to you. There was a lot of, yeah, between couples especially. There was. I noticed it. I didn't stay out that long. Well, 1:30 I got back home. Decided not to go to the place that we usually go to after the other two places closed down. Nearly did fire limbo, but I decided against it. Fear. The fear is kicking in. Ooh, they're scared. You were feisty. Yeah, you felt it. It was one of those full moons, right? It can happen. We'll all get a bit lunatic-y. The one before this. Oh, really? Was it? I can't remember that one. Yeah, I felt feisty before I went out, and I thought, oh, Watch out. Did I see? Yeah, I did. I saw my arch nemesis. He was in playing pool when I first got there, but he left. He left quietly shortly after I got there. And and then there's a guy that I know. He's so drunk. He had this bottle, like a little water bottle full of liquor. And I'm like, what is that? It looked like a bottle of pee. So he opened it and he was like, have some. I sniffed it. I was like, jeez. No wonder it looked as bad as he did. God knows what it was, but it was strong stuff. His face was all puffy. He just wrecks himself, that one. I thought he was way older than he is. When I first met him was when I was doing the door fight nights. And he would always like have bottles of wine or bottles of whiskey like in his pockets, or be hiding them. Not very well hiding them, taking them in there. Drink so much. Anyway, he was in there. Trying to get me to drink it. Not a chance. Crazy. Love, bad attitude, betrayal, holding on, fear. There's a lot of bad cards out there. I told you this deck. We get some lovely cards out of it sometimes, but there's a lot of bad cards. Tell us about this love then. I mean, it's good that that's the card that came out first, love. So it's not all bad. You know what I mean? There's just a lot to get over here. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and that isn't being faced up to. Yeah, face it. Face it, Emperor. Tell us about this love, though. Give us a little bit of neediness and fantasy. Oh my God. Neediness and fantasy. Watch out. Like I said, watch out, because fantasy could be very strong here, of the divine feminine also saying, you know, just wanting to paste over things, brush it under the carpet and go, come here then, and pretend it'll be the death of it if you do. What else for the divine feminine? Because we need to receive, right? Receiving. This is about receiving. This is about the Six of Crystals. It's about the reciprocity, the need to do this first. Beauty. Oh, so in other words, the beauty is saying that they need to go through this first. It's very important that they go through this first. It's fundamental to the relationship that they go through this first. Not only has the divine feminine got to stand up for it this time and go, I'm getting reciprocity this time, and I'm not accepting someone until they can be reciprocal. The divine masculine needs to learn the lesson of doing what is required before they even get into the relationship. Never mind when they're in the relationship. They've got to take action now. They've got to put the skin in the game. They've got to do something first. They've got a hurdle to get over first, and they've got to do it. Otherwise, they get into the relationship. They haven't even done what is required to even get in the relationship. Never mind are they doing what's required in that relationship. So reciprocity is the key here. The divine feminine needs to receive. Divine masculine needs to do it already. Do it already, divine masculine. Makes sense? Best friend's ex decided to mess with us while we were out Saturday night. You're having none of it, right? Toto. My friend Toto, he was trying it on. It was funny because he can't say my name properly. And so we're trying to teach him how to say Claire. Got him to stick his tongue out. Claire. Now he says it like that. Claire. Oh, he was funny. He's like, who do you sleep with? Claire? Claire? Except me, myself, and I. And I said, and sometimes the cat. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. We We've got to remember what it is that we want, is what this is saying. We've got to remember what it is that we want. Not get caught up in the fantasy, definitely, out of neediness. Don't do that. Don't do that. Remember what it is that you want. And don't just settle for less than that. Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. This is almost the same as the threshold card, the patience card, the temperance card. It's like it's not here yet. But it will be, and you can, like, stand your ground. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. And they have to step up and do it. What was it? We had a full moon in Gemini. Let's find the card. Full moon in Gemini. I might have looked it up before I did it, but it was so long ago since I made that video that I don't know. It's going to be like the last card, isn't it? No. Second to last card. Embrace the flow of life. Yeah. You get that card all the time, Jessica. Threshold. It's about to happen. We're on the threshold of it. Oh, let's get one of these cards. My guitar arrived. It's beautiful. It sounds so good. Of course, it's all new and new strings, so they don't play very well at first because they need a lot of tuning. But it's beautiful. I love it. Had to file my nails down to play it. It's over there in the corner. Do you want to see it? Keep your heart open and release your blocks. Oh, so we've got to release our blocks too. It's not all about what they're going through, although a lot of it is what they're going through at the moment. Divine Masculine. We've just got to keep our heart open, but then still be strong with our communication. This one. Differences. Difference in approach. A difference in approach is what I just heard, Dad. Three different patient cards. Ah, damn. It's got to be frustrating. I don't like it, because I want something to do. I want something to work on or focus on or whatever. And you just get the patience cards out, and it's like, really? I've just got to wait on them. I've got to trust them to do their thing, but I want to do it. You see, that's the lack of reciprocity, isn't it? Okay, that's how we get ourselves into these relationships where they don't do anything, we do it all, because that's what we want to do. It's like, tell me what I can do about this. That's what I do anyway. Oh, maturity. So we're taking the mature approach now. There is a difference in approaches then. Romance, candles and flowers. Fear. Yes, the fear is heightened right now. Guarded heart. And we do need to be open. I don't feel like the feminine is in fear now. I think it's the masculine. There's a lot, you see, isn't there? This is why relationships are tricky, because there's a lot to contend with. The guides, right? Because I've got, what do you call them? Not blisters, but hard skin here on the pads from putting this chest of drawers together. down here from screwdrivering. You know the little free screwdrivers that they give you with them? They're only good to last for putting it together, and if you do anything wrong, if you have to unscrew some screws and screw them back in again, it's a mushy mess at the end of it. And so I had to do a lot of like pushing to use it. Anyway, I'll show you my chest of drawers, and then I'll show you my guitar. There's nothing in it yet, but this is going to be here underneath my new desk, and the cards, my boxes of cards can fit on top of it like this and still go underneath the desk so that I can have all of my work stuff here. Callus, yeah, that's it. That's the word. Calluses. Okay. Do we need to know anything else? Does anyone else want a mini read? I'm going to get some of these out. Here's so many outside noises when the windows are open. Someone's brushing over there. They're building something over there. I was hoping it's going to be a barbecue, but it's not. It's just, it's boring. They're just putting a little wall around the base of the toilet block to shield the pipes and stuff. Boring. I thought it was going to be something exciting. The orphan. Orphan wounds. Abandonment issues. Abandonment issues are tricky because we so often project them onto other people. So we don't want to abandon someone else because of our abandonment issues. It can have us not ending things properly, not wanting to break someone's heart. It can have us being nice to people or just presuming that someone wants something. Like we have this orphan wound, this abandonment wound, and it can make us imagine that everyone has it and that anything that we do that's slightly negative to them is going to have them feeling abandoned and feeling like the orphan, when it's not even true. When it's not even true about them. It can have us doing all kinds of stuff that doesn't benefit us and it doesn't benefit them. You know what I mean? Like I prefer when people will just say yes or no and be clear about it with me. If they tell me no with something, I'm fine with it. I'm not going to feel this. I'm not going to feel abandoned. I'm not going to feel orphaned by them. I would rather them be clear with me. But some people just aren't because of this wound. They aren't. So be careful of that. Because when we do that projecting, we're not being 100% honest with people. We're not being upfront. We're not communicating ourselves properly. We're not being, expressing what it is that's inside of us. We're trying to manipulate, trying to manage everyone, trying to manage people's feelings when there's no need for it. There's no need to presume that everyone's got this wound just because you've got it. It's like when I realized I wanted to be everyone's mother kind of thing. I think I'd actually made that declaration to the universe. I want to be the mother to anyone that doesn't have a mother kind of thing. And then I realized in the end, it's me that didn't have a mother. It's me that's got that wound, not everyone else. So try and fix it in everyone else where it isn't. Try and fix it in myself where it is. I got to be a mother to myself. And so just be careful of this. Careful of this wound because it's really in us. We've got to deal with it in us, not in other people. In other words, so let's put it in this scenario. The emperor comes with a big offer, and instead of saying, no, sort that thing out first, Like, oh, I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them, so I'm not going to say no. And then it all gets very messy from there. I don't want them to feel abandoned, so I definitely have to say yes to them. Shadow. So the feminine does have some work to do. Hey, some shadow work to do here. In transforming this and the way that you deal with this time around. How many people have we said yes to just so that we don't hurt them? I know I have before. I know guys have pursued me so much that I've said yes to them even though I don't want to be with them. And I've also had this thing as well when I feel bad if someone has feelings for me, as if that's got anything to do with me. Their feelings, as if I'm responsible for them having feelings about me. I used to feel that. I don't feel that anymore. I used to think that, and I used to feel it, that I was responsible. If someone had feelings for me, I was kind of responsible for them. It was on me. Now I realize it's got nothing to do with me. It's on them. It's all on them. Their feelings are all on them, not on me. Got no responsibility for anyone that has feelings for me. It's so freeing. Shadow work to do, feminines. Especially around that orphan wound. The eternal child. Shadow work, inner child work. Wow, yes. They're very powerful cards right there. And again, like if our inner child is hurting, we can project that onto others and not tell the masculine what they need to be told, not get them to do it, you know? If our inner child is hurting because they've been neglected, say, previously, we might let the masculine get away with anything because we don't want him to feel that way that we felt in the past. That doesn't make for a good relationship, not telling them, hey, do the dishes, make an effort. Like, yeah, this stuff, communicating that, you'll do that first. And then you'll continue to make an effort in this relationship because I'm not doing it all. When we've got a hurt in a child, we're not going to do that. We're not going to allow ourselves to be expressive like that because we presume that we're hurting their inner child when we do it. And we might be, if we're choosing wounded people, wounded warriors like this, we might be. But all the more reason for them to step up and do it for themselves first, because no amount of pandering to them is going to help them and heal them. They also have to do it themselves like we had to do it ourselves. Can't do the healing for them, and when we enable them and allow them to get away with it, it hinders their healing. It doesn't help the healing. Oh, what's going to go on? Thank you, Jessica. You got the new rose quartz. Isn't it nice? I got it too. This is the mini Zenda palette. A new one. It's okay. I like the silver's really nice that I've got on my lids from it. The darker pink was kind of hard to blend out. The purple sparkle's nice too in that. I enjoy it. I enjoy putting makeup on, but this one that I'm wearing right now, the base, I've started applying it thinner. I get a bit itchy, and when I get itchy, I'll rub it off. That's not ideal. So there we go. I think that's it. If anyone wants a mini read, get in fast while I'm packing the cards up, because I'm going to be out of here and recording videos very shortly. It's almost next year in my videos. It will be next year today. I'll be doing New Year's Day. I'll be doing 30th and 31st on New Year's Day readings today. Recording them. And I'll be recording a pick a card read as well. So don't forget, if you want a reciprocal relationship this time, they've got to do the work right now to even get into it. Hold them to that. Don't let them get away with not putting the work in. I don't want that experience again. Join our Facebook group for those of you that aren't in it already. It's called Psychic Cafe Club. Oh, cool. Here it is. I was just noticing a message. So I've got a friend in America who is sending me stuff. I use her address to buy things, some things now in America. And she's got a business that she's sending stuff out all the time. So she sends them to me here. And it's as such avoid the import taxes and stuff like that and ridiculous shipping costs and stuff. Anyway, she's sending me a box of stuff today. Well, tomorrow for you guys, but today. She just sent me a message saying, do you want to do a reading for the shipping? Hey, I do. I want to do that. She hasn't had a reading from me in ages. Thanks, Bernie. Yeah, so join our Facebook group. Stay in touch. Come back again. Let's do this again on Wednesday. Well, my Wednesday anyway. I survived. I survived with the doors open. I might keep them open all day until it gets too hot. See you, Kate. See you, Bernie. See you, Penny. Thanks, everyone, for coming. And for your donations. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.